So the trailer for Halloween 2018 dropped, I believe, yesterday. At least yesterday is when I saw it. And damn, does it look good. I really appreciate the fact that, this basically just wipes the entire slate clean, and it's like this is a direct sequel to the original Halloween. And I was wondering if they didn't mean that it was going to be like a sequel to Halloween 1 and 2, because they both take place on the same night. But I like in the trailer how they even acknowledge the fact that, wasn't she his sister? And they're like, no, that was just a myth, So it's almost sort of like... It's almost a way of kind of acknowledging the sequels in an odd way, sort of like this is the urban legend of Michael Myers, but this is what actually happened kind of a thing, which I think is kind of cool. Maybe I'm reading a little bit too much into that, but it seems kind of cool. This trailer has really made me kind of just think about the Halloween franchise in general, and how it's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure. I've already done a video about the Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, which I actually liked better than a lot of people did, so I'm excluding those. But when you think about it, all right, there was the first two Halloween movies, okay, that, again, take place on one night, and in the second one you find out that, you find shit out. And then they carry on with 4 and 5, which are just kind of meh. Then there was part 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, which was the first movie that Paul Rudd was in. It was actually one of the first 2 movies that Paul Rudd was in, but nevertheless, early Paul Rudd, who hasn't aged a goddamn day since, was in The Curse of Michael Myers. And I really fucking actually enjoyed that one. I understand that they did introduce more of like a supernatural element to it. Not that it wasn't already. It's like, how many different ways can you kill somebody and they keep coming back? But this went into like Michael Myers' origins. And I thought that, the whole witchcraft aspect of it was actually pretty cool. It was kind of a return to form in that it was a lot more scary. Like Halloween 4 and 5, they were just dumb fucking slasher movies. They were fun, but they're just dumb slasher movies. There's like no substance. The two of them are like virtually interchangeable. So part 6 kind of brought it back. It's very obvious that the movie went through production hell, and there's actually 2 different versions of the movie. There's the producer's cut, and then there's the regular theatrical version. Overall, I think I like the theatrical version better because of the ending. The ending to the producer's cut, I really did not like. And don't get me wrong, the ending to the regular cut is sort of like, what the fuck, But it's like, so even in what was supposed to be the original last Halloween movie, you have 2 choices of like how to watch it, both of which have a completely different ending. Now, Halloween H2O comes out in 1998. Now, I remember thinking to myself, because I always viewed it as like the 7th movie in the series, so I was sort of like, wow, she just hid out and like let that shit happen to her family, wow, that's it kind of makes me feel like Laurie Strode's a bit of a piece of shit, But apparently what the movie was supposed to be, as it was edited and released to theaters, it was supposed to be a reimagining where essentially parts 4 through 6 never happened, and Michael Myers returned 20 years later after, so really Halloween H2O did what this movie did, but, it was the late 90s, and it did it in kind of a slightly more cheesy 90s way. Now, I'm not shitting on the movie, okay? I thought that Halloween H2O was a pretty fucking solid horror film, even for the 90s. I thought the title was kind of lame. Oh, and it had that typical 90s cover with, like, the lineup of the hip, sleek, and sexy teenage cast. But it was pretty good, and you know what? Not for nothing, man. If that had been the end, that was a pretty solid end of the series. It really had a sense of, like, total completion. Like, okay, there's no way he can come back now. Enter Halloween Resurrection. This is an abortion of a movie, and I fucking, it's just, like, hands down the worst in the franchise. I wish that this fucking movie had never been made. I fucking hate Halloween Resurrection with, like, a vehement passion. I hate it. It's just a shitty movie. It takes everything that happened, the awesome ending that would have been H2O, and it just extends it for no fucking reason. And for those of you who've seen the movie, shit happens that fucking just ruins everything and pisses me off. And if you want to get technical, that is the last film of the original, like, Halloween series. And it's like, what a fucking bummer. Then you get the Rob Zombie movies coming out because it's sort of like, all right, we need a fucking change here. So now you've got this new movie, which basically says fucking everything that came before does not exist. So let's see how many different paths you have in Halloween. Halloween's 1 through 6, disregarding 3. Okay, you've got the time. So that's 1. You got the timeline that follows Halloween H2O / Resurrection. Okay, which is a second timeline. Oh yeah, technically speaking, there's another timeline because if the original producer's cut of Part 6 has 2 different endings. Then you got the Rob Zombie universe, and you know what? Fuck it. I'll count that. I'll count that, okay? And then you got this one, which basically says, no. Nothing after the first one happened. 40 years later, this son of a bitch is coming back. It's kind of cool. It's nice to have, I almost sort of wish that more franchises would do sort of what Halloween has done in the choose your own adventure aspect, because there are so many franchises that end on such a lame or stupid or sour note that it's just like, God damn, they really could have just, if you could just scratch this one thing out, if you could just erase this one part and do this instead, it would be so much better. And it's cool because Halloween has successfully done that. And as far as the trailer itself is concerned, I'm super stoked because I think it looks like a just awesome fucking movie. I love the scene, even the imagery, in the, psych ward with the red and white checkered floor and stuff like that, and the dude just holds up the mask, and the dog starts barking and all the inmates start freaking out, and Michael Myers is just standing there and you can only see him from the back, and it's Nick Castle again too, allegedly. Yeah guys, I'm super stoked for this. How about you? Let me know, comment below. I would absolutely love to talk about this movie or just the franchise in general. Halloween's awesome. Michael Myers kicks ass. And that's all she wrote.